I want to do a short video on how to make text readable above a picture. So here is the effect we're after. Here's the before, and as you can see, I've got a Bible verse on top of this couple here, and it's almost unreadable. So first thing we could do is just change the font and then make it slightly better. But what we're after is this look right here. Therefore, a man leaves his father and mother and embraces his wife. They become one flesh. And so another way to do this is to have a white background with a black. I think I prefer the black background or gray background with a white. But let's talk about how we can create this. So we're going to start with our very first uh, slide here. And we can click in here. And if we click in there and change the font, uh, you'll notice we're only going to get one word. So that's not what we want. We can either select all, which then you can't really see the font all the well, but this would work. Let me just show you what we're doing. So that would work, but then you have to click outside of here to kind of see what you're doing. So let me undo that, Control Z, and show you a better way of doing it. If I click on the text box itself right there, and it's a little bit hard to see, but I clicked on the edge of the text box, then we click on this, then we get the whole thing. All right, so that is a little bit better. So the next thing we want to do is go to Format, Text, Effects, Shadow, and I want to go down to Shadow Options, which this happened to be open, but I got to, if it wasn't open, that would have gotten it open. All right, so we're going to start with a preset, this one right here, and the first thing we're going to do is move this. I wish this defaulted to 0%. Because I don't want any transparency on the shadow, and these shadows are not quite far enough for me. Typically I'll set those to 5, and as you can see, that is a little bit better. But what we said we're after was this look right here, which has the gray background. So because I think that this is still a little bit hard to see, and so let's talk about how to do that. So again, I want to click on the edge of that text box, so I select the text box, and from this same box here we're going to click on the fill and select a solid fill. And you see we got a little problem. First of all, I don't want that completely solid. We want some transparency. So let's get that right. But the bigger problem is the text box is not the right size. Now you could go through and insert, this is the way I used to do it actually, a shape and insert a separate item, a rectangle, but I'm going to show you a more clever way of doing it. All right, so we're going to actually change this text box to the size we want, and then we'll work on getting the text moved around on the inside. But we're going to get that's about the size we want for the text box. Now we got to get these borders straightened out. All right, so it's this box right here that we want to look for, and size is fine. Text rotation. All right, so we want to get a little bit of left margin. That's going to pull that off the left, and yeah, no, that's all right. Let's get a little bit of right margin, maybe a little bit more. And then this is working because the text box is aligned middle. If this were aligned top, it would be this way. But the best way to do it is to make it all the way from the top to the bottom and align it in the center. And that was what we're after. The other one is here. And once again, I think you could figure this out. But if we wanted to change it to look like this, so go back to the first one, we would simply select the whole text box. We're going to change the text now to black, and then go to the text options, shadow, and we want to make the shadow white. And then we got to go to the text box. Where is that? Shape options and the fill, and change this to white. Oh, no, that's not right. I was in the shadow. I knew something was wrong. So I actually want to undo this. I don't want a shadow here. There we go. And you can change the transparency of that, make it completely white, or make it go away, or somewhere in between. I'm going to put it somewhere in between. Anyway, hope you found this video helpful.